投降するなどもってのほかだ。
Finally got around to it. I couldn't do what I wanted to do anyway, so there we go. So I'm going to attempt to get through some of these challenge mode maps today, since I've got some sanity which I will no doubt lose both in and out of game, because challenge modes are not fun, especially this map, which is what I'm starting on. So we'll just jump in for a quick practice, see which 7 tiles are not available. We'll see how we go. So that's not terrible. It's not great. It's not terrible. This map is unfortunately a very rough map, regardless of what you do. I recall it having a fair bit of issues with this the first time I ran through it, but hopefully I will be able to wriggle something out of it. I hope, anyway. Let's see how we go. So because of those nasty snails, and unless you really want to stay on top of them, need some tanky tanks. And some tanky DPS. What I think I'll do is we'll remove Nian for, where did I see her? Saria. Because I'm going to need Healies. I'll bring Manticore to try and slow down some of what's coming. I'm not too sure if Yala is going to do any good. We'll see. We will see. And Telopsis can also get swapped out for one of my other 6-star healers. On 6-star heavy, but that's alright. Actually, since we have explosions, I will drop that down to Warfarin. W is not going to be useful because I can't utilize her. And I need physical damage, so we will bring Meteorite, and that should hopefully be okay. Actually, I suspect Manticore is going to cause me more issues than anything. So we'll swap her out for Jessica just in case Grey Throat is a little bit more of a harder time than I'm expecting it to. I don't think she will, but we'll have to see. Who's left? I don't really want to stick Scardy in there. I might bring... Bring Vigna just in case. I need that extra little punch. I'm hoping I won't, but we'll see. And yes, it is definitely welcome back, Suffering. This map is, I really don't like this map. So I really want to get down both of these single block vanguards straight away. Not what I was hoping would happen, but it's what has happened. Yeah, okay. Wow, rip, there goes the first 10 sanity. I thought I could wing it, but clearly not. A bowl. Yeah, those two casters are definitely not fun. So, to fix that, what I will do is not auto-deploy so I can actually do the challenge mode. I'll actually swap out Vigna for... Where is she? Here we go, for Gravel. That way I have two fast redeploys that I can rely on. And because of that, I will also swap that over to Red Stun. Hopefully I can use her a bit more effectively in a few more different situations than I would usually be trying to use her. Senpai, 私たちのことは気にせず、全体の指揮に専念してください。腰抜け野郎が。Just not quite fast enough.
お前の死を打ち一気にかかってこい。ここが戦場。
Very not fast enough.
動かないで。
It's alright, we'll improvise. Work around it.
他の人はついてこれる。
There's a wall in place now, so it should all be good. It's not a very ideal wall, but it's a wall.
遅い。私からは敵は見えるけど、向こうからは残念だった。これでそうです。 進め。火事には気をつけてください。ご指示を。
And that's fine, because I want to get meteorite there.
治療開温度安定しています。簡単だ。
Pull red back. We'll place
指
her
示
like
はある
that.
かしら。
That drone is probably what's going to bring me undone, actually.
ビビってんじゃねえ。 絶対許しません。
Yeah. Oh dear.
残念だけど。
That's what happens when you just go in the deep end and you don't actually practice. You think you can wing it. So it's a drone. Unfortunately, I've done it again. So that means that we want to bring blue poison. And we will use that
いい
skill.
ですわね。攻撃支援に長けた私にぴったりの仕事ですわ。
That should look okay. See how it goes, and I'll try and modify my initial deployment up a little bit and see if it sorts itself out a bit more effectively than it did.
あらあら、そんなに私を避けなくても大丈夫ですのよ。
So what I'll do is I'll do a little bit of shimmy
敵の
work
状
with
況はまだ
Jessica.
不明瞭だ。味方の世話だけで時間がいっぱいいっぱいでな。君です。 腰抜け野郎が。待機中です。絶対許しません。勝利か死かだ。進め。 ここが戦場。
More than a little rough, but
ご安
it
心
is
ください
working out.
この毒は移りませんから。君です。 簡単だ簡単だいい場所ね
So we use our fast redeploys to get rid of these little explodey nasties.
指示はあるかしら
Maybe.
勝利か
Does he get frozen in the meantime?
当然私だろ待機中負傷した者はすぐに知らせるんだ頑張ります火事には気をつけてください
Well, wall up like that.
私の輪郭が見えるかしら
And what I'll do is I'll wait for that other one to get a little bit closer.
一気にかかってこい早く
Pull red out. Kill that.
ご指示をこの辺温度が低すぎるかな害虫だ
The main reason I'm putting Saria forward is because I'm hoping that the casters that come in this top lane will prefer to go after her instead of hitting blue poison. Or if they do hit blue poison, the hope is that it's only once instead of several times.
早く
Kill that. Fast redeploy here to catch that second one.
待機中です指示はあるかしら少し暑いかもしれませんよこの力
Since we can't block that one.
ドクター
I will use that skill to try and mitigate as much of it as I can. Unfortunately, we have a little sneaky boy coming through, which has indeed snuck through. That's no good. Ah, no.
どこで道を間違えた
Blue poison. Let me down. Blue has let me down. So I actually think that drone comes up in this top part here. So you can't even deploy Ifrit there to try and barrage across. Okay, so Meteorite's probably not a great choice. Because if I do need someone extra, it's not going to be her. I'll leave her in there. It's a bit of a wild card spot, so we'll see how we go.
So
this time I'll actually move Jessica somewhere where I can utilize her a little bit better.
ない。進め。
やってやるってんだ。
私はあなたの
Should actually be using the other redeploy operators rather than this, but that's okay.
待機中。
I was worried I might lose her.
簡単だ。
That's
指示はあるかしら。
sort of okay. I'll work with it.
毒薬の準備が整いましたわ。
Maybe we won't work with it. We won't work with it. Oh dear.
先に逃げて、早く。
All this pain and suffering. So instead of bringing Zima, let us try. If I can find her, we'll try Reed.
君の言うことだから、もう他人の命を軽んじはしない。
The damage being done is arts damage, so it's a little hard to try and work out the drop times.
医薬品の積み込みは完了した。それでは出発する。皆さん、安全確保が第一です。負傷した者はすぐに知らせるんだ。
ただ廃人にキスのみ。
So we'll just go for a bit of a bulldoze route here. It's not super ideal, but
私の生けし火炎がお前たちの汚れた身の内を浄化する。
止血監視。
yeah, may have buggered this up again.
ここにしようっと。ビクトリアのバグパイプ波状。私は一歩も引きません。早く輸血準備。私の輪郭が見えるかしら。
So try and refrain from pulling an extra like that.
この目にお前の死を映す。
Warfare.
医療機器の設置は済んで。
down.
私はあなたの影。早
My
く
redeploys back.
ご指示を。思考を明晰にするわ。戦術。今行くぞ。
私の生けし火炎がお前たちの汚れた身の内を浄化する。
頑張ります。
And what I'll do
端には気をつけてください。
is I'll stick meteorite in there just to get some extra fire on that drone for the time being.
ドクター、オベ。下がって。私の輪郭が見えるかしら。
And then missed that one there because I'm not paying attention. Yes!
この
Oh
ナイ
dear.
フまだ鋭さ
Duck away and grab a drink real quick because I keep picking up an empty drink bottle, and then I'll come back and I'll attempt to re-suffer it again. A lot of them do tend to look good up until a point, and that's the problem. I was a bit too heavily invested in bagpipe in that particular example, and I shouldn't have been. That was the problem. And probably is a problem. I mean, fans of the operator will probably hate me for saying this, but if I had a better choice, I probably wouldn't be using bagpipe. I mean, it may actually be worth me using that, but I'd probably be using Granny, to be honest. It might actually help me to swap Red's skill over to that too, just to get them down quicker. Because Granny's actually a tank DP regen, so yeah, she's a lot better at sitting there taking hits than a lot of these other operators I'm trying to use. I also buggered up a little bit of the placement, which didn't help the cause. So what I probably want to do is deploy Red facing down, which isn't going to work out for me anyway. But a deploy like this is arranging itself to be should be a lot better than what I was trying to do. So now the other thing is that I want to get blue out as quick as I can. We'll return her, we'll return her. So Red's gonna... oh, I thought Red might have been able to walk that off, but she didn't. So I'll ignore that first slug and I'll try and catch that one. And I'm hoping that wouldn't happen, but that's okay. That's not okay though.
お待ちしております。集え我が同胞たちよ。ご指示を。
So now I'm actually in a really rough spot
私がここにいること
because
誰にも見られていないよね。
チェーンソーのうなり声が聞こえる？思考を明晰にするは戦術。ご指示を。
I really need to get that set up out like that. Recall.
これでどうです？
Okay, so that drone's gone down. The only thing I really need to worry about now, whoops, these little scooters. And everything else should go more or less according to plan.
簡単だ。
So recall, catch that one.
火事には気をつけてください。
In hindsight, I probably should have brought Colossus just for her skill point regeneration. So this boy here is no good, and neither are these two. 'Cause they are going to do bad things to me.
速さで簡単だ。
待機中、私は一歩も引きません。このチェーンソーで真っ二つにされたくなかったら我が報いて。
Upgraded, so Blaze is alright.
指示はあるかしら。温度安定しています。
I'm not catching that, which is going to be a problem because of all this blockading that's going on here.
火事には気をつけて。私がお守りします。
But this is the last wave now, so once this all closes through, it's all said and done, and well, I'll just deploy meteorite there to get some extra damage through. And all done.
先輩、大丈夫そうですか？よかった。
Yeah, you usually have a lot more room to work with when those 7 tiles aren't blocked off. And that's where the problem is. Because these two casters at this end, the defense end, they don't actually have a lot of range. I think their range is only maybe 1 or 2 tiles. So the idea is to initially start with your vanguards in these center tiles just to keep them out of range, so you can get your deployment points up, then start working on them. And yeah, because that blocks off those center tiles, that just ruins all that. So moving on to more hatred. Drones have increased movement speed, which is going to cause drama, and the only safe tiles are none of them. Bugger. I will actually run practice on this one, because this one I think is going to cause me a lot of pain. I will bring red. Not red, sorry, W. But I will use this just to try and stem those flyers out. I'll leave Blaze, because the other thing is that you've got to put your tanks in awkward spots. So I think these all do a circle plus 1 on the tips of the circle. So that means that the tanks, the tank safe spots are these 2 tiles at the bottom, And these two tiles at the top. Well, actually, there's a fair bit at the top, which is these two and one at the back here, but still. So I suppose the idea that you'd want is the fast redeploys can go. And you're going to want, unfortunately, probably that skill. So unfortunately, because not a lot of, you know, it's the 6-star quote-unquote requirement. Bagpipe can be moved up. Actually, I probably won't even use bagpipe. I'll probably go back to my usual vanguards of Zima and where are we? Scavenger?
たかが入隊で何か言わなきゃダメなのか。
Because of how this map is going to be with those ice towers, I will bring 2 AoE healers. Wherever Telopsis is. I am disinclined to bring slow damage tanks. That's the only thing. So I will bring Liskarm if I can find her.
準備完了。
And I'll leave Blaze to tank another lane. Because Blaze just makes these chapters easy because she has the reduced frost duration. The healer you can get from tickets is really good for this too, because she applies that effect to all other healers. So your healers aren't stuck in a permanent state of semi-frost. We'll stick with Yafyala, and we will bring 2 regular snipers. Preferably burst snipers.
単独行動の方が好きなんだけど。
I think the only other burst sniper I have is Exusier, so I'll have to bring
チー
her.
ムでの戦い慣れてるから任せて。
I'll leave Jessica in just in case something goes awry somewhere. But I'm hoping this should be okay. I mean, it's just a practice, so if I cock it up, it's all good. So the drones are coming out straight away by the looks of it, and I probably should have thought a little harder about those drones, because that's actually going to cause me significant problems. Yeah, so they do a full circle +1, so the line is going to have to be here where my tanks are as well. So what I'll do, so I will try, actually no, I can move them forward, that's okay. try and get Exucier's buff
一
on
気にかかってこい
Grey Throat, which, as you can see, clearly did not work.
アーツユニットチャージ中。命を奪うようなことはいたしません。
So we got these nasty little critters as well. I mean, I can probably coax one, maybe two of these bombs.
ビビってんじゃね
Unfortunately, I don't think I'm gonna avoid this.
頑張ります。私がお守りし。
As you can see, that worked fantastically. That was a brilliant play. Not. And that's what happens.
飛べ。
It's also why you want burst snipers, because you really need to get those drones down as quickly as you
情
can.
けねえやつださっさと消えろ
Yeah, I was hoping they wouldn't do what they just did, but as you can see, that didn't really work. Now, what I am thinking is I will use my good friend Jessica here a little bit more prominently, and I probably won't use W as a... well, maybe I will. We'll see how I go. We'll see how the deployment works itself out. I actually think I didn't hit practice on that. So we'll see how this works out. I have a thought concept in mind. Whether it works out the way I think it will, that's going to be another question altogether, but
教習オペレーターの基準は厳
see
しい
how
よ
we。go.
私の動きについてきて。
腰抜け野郎がビビってんじゃね
So what I'll do is I'll actually move these back one,
ついてきて。
and thankfully I got the
やる
Exucia
の
buff
お前はもう戻れないん
on
だ
the
よ。
operator I wanted it on,
ターゲットロックオン。
to an early deploy of Teopsis. What I'll
一気にか
do
かってこい
is I'll put W there. It's a bad place because she will get double frozen fairly frequently, but that said, she should also be able to bait a lot of the bombs without getting
命を奪うような
killed
ことはいた
because
し
of
ま
her
せん。
ability, I hope. Yeah, see, there you go, she just missed it. But the issue I'm now
よ
seeing
ーし。
is that even though she's baiting those bombs,
私がお守りし
we're
ます。
still having some leakage because the bomb has a full 9 cell
大丈夫
AoE,
です。
which I probably should have thought about ahead of time. But that's okay. Again, we work around it. Challenge mode, practice. So again, I'll just fiddle around. I can't actually bait the bomb with a quick deploy because these front 10 cells?
あらあら。
Yes,
そんなに
these
私を
front 10
避けなくて
cells are all
大
no
丈夫
deployment
ですよ。
zones. So I can't just drop a quick redeploy out the front here and expect it's going to work graciously for me.
早くしろ早くしろお前にかける情けはない
はいはいここ
So
で
yeah, what we'll do is put W there where she's going to get caned right off the bat, but then we'll put an extra space in between these two deployments. That's not helpful. I mean, she might, maybe, we'll see what happens. It might be helpful.
ターゲットロックオン了解大当たりを引くのは誰かしらね
And that is what I'm hoping I can do every time a group comes out.
ここが
Even if W can't actually attack all the
この
time,
力
the brief moments that I actually have W ready and available, I'm hoping that I can just use that ability over and over and over to just wipe out that whole line of bombs.
やるのかクズだ 早くしろ
So far this bottom lane looks to be the heavy traffic lane.
早くしろ
So we'll put Blaze in the heavy
チェーンソーのう
traffic
なり
lane.
声が聞こえる
当然
I will recall here. And what I'm actually going to do is I'm actually going to put Liskarm facing down. Because Liskarm is a ranged tank. She can hit these drones.
分かった了解
Now the other big issue
気をつけて行動しますね
is, as you can see, all these little bomb drones are now
分かった3つ数える間に
constantly freezing W, so
この力どうか受け
we'll
止めて
deploy Yala in the back here just in case something goes a little bit haywire.
プログラム高音気体力学はめちゃむずなんだから
But see, as you can see,
分かった
and this is purely coincidental, because of W's avoidance skill,
分かった
she, despite having taken, what, 2-3 bombs,
私
she
がお
hasn't
守り
actually
します
taken any damage yet because her skill is actually procced every
分か
time.
った大当たりを引くのは誰かしらねこの力
And look, it's purely coincidental, it just helps when it happens. So yeah, this is how I'll have to go about it. And we've got these little sluggy things here that aren't treating Liskarm very well, but that's okay again. They don't have to.
Mission accomplished
The only reason I actually deployed Yafyala was because I was getting a little
先
bit
輩大丈夫そうですか
panicky about what some of those drones were doing. So I just wanted to have her there in case W was frozen for an extended period of time, so her skill would be ready and she could just use it as she needed to. I mean, I could deploy blue poison there. I could deploy Jessica there. Jessica's second skill, which is the one I have on her at the moment, that will. I think that affects those frost bursts. I think she can actually avoid them using that. But what I will do is I will actually swap both of these skills over to their first ones, which are every so many shots we fire a second shot, or in Effie's case, Exusier's case, we fire 3 shots. But other than that, that's the only change I'm going to make, because everything else is working, so the way I wanted it to. So no complaints. And again, like I said, I directed Liskarm down. She doesn't cover the whole 3 center cells, but
出撃の許可が下りました
it doesn't matter because at least she's helping if anything comes through in these top 2 lanes. So again, we'll just deploy W there so she can start working on that skill. And then we'll space out our ranged attackers. And as you can see, those explosions from W have an AoE, so this little spooder here just got a bit of a hit too. I mean, I suppose ideally, looking at the incoming damage, you would probably use Perfumer, just in case W does take a hit. Because that will allow W to just passive regen. So again, we'll just put down Blaze. I'll wait for the skill to go through and then I'll redeploy Liskarm. Facing down again, just so she can help with any drones that sneak through. And we'll pop Effie in the middle just to... as far as popping Effie down anyway, I believe you're talking about this middle one in between her and W. If she gets deployed there, she'll get hit by anything W... Any of the bombs that W gets hit by, she'll get hit by them as well. So like this one, which is gonna do that, she would get hit by that bomb. Which would leave her frozen and not in a very great place. Even having Effie using her third skill is probably unnecessary. It's all very controlled. It's a very controlled flow. So yeah, CW's been hit by 1 bomb, maybe 2 she's taken damage from. So yeah, if I was using Perfumer, obviously that damage would be slowly regenning. So yeah, I probably should have used Perfumer. It is what it is. Not gonna make a difference, because that is the last drone. The archers in that back row shouldn't get frozen, because I think the time between the frost cycles is long enough that it won't permafreeze them. I wasn't really paying attention, but it shouldn't cause too big an issue. I mean, regardless of what you're looking at too, an AoE healer on a map like that where you really know that things are gonna be frozen and there's gonna be problems, bringing in Perfumer is probably for the best. Just because of her passive map heal. So that's all of those. I don't think I need to do any more. It's just the main maps that have challenge modes. Maybe this one? No. That's story map 6.5. There we go, found one. Oh dear, I know this one. No longer lose hit points over time. So this map's a big issue because of that. These enraged throwers that come through the top lane are not particularly great. So what'll happen is you'll have those enraged throwers. And the concept when you're doing it normally is you just plop a tank down somewhere in the middle and the tank will sit there and obviously just tank damage while they slowly kill themselves. Obviously that's not going to happen because they're not losing health anymore. So the way... Well, the thing is that if they hit anything other than a tank, it's going to pretty much not be good times. So what we will have to do is we will need to bring Hoshiguma with the second skill, which is, it's a constant skill. And Hoshi will be our punching bag, or dartboard rather. I forget what else comes through that top lane though, so this is going to be an interesting learning experience. Everything's going to be funneled, so we'll use that skill for Effie. I may even not. I may bring a different caster. Let's bring. Who am I looking for? Actually, we'll bring Meteorite.
来たわよ。
I am going to bring Lapland. I would typically bring someone like Silver Ash, but I'm trying to sort of knock down on the 6 stars I use.
隊長はテキサスにやってもらおう。
Because I know some of the friends that I bring into these streams don't have as many 6 stars. Well, when I do sort of these videos where I showcase how I struggle through them, because I'm not as good as some of the other guides out there. Some of the people I bring in, I know they don't have these big, you know, these lofty teams. So I'm going to bring Nurl, because Nurl actually increases healing done by healers, which is going to be good because Hoshi just gets... I'm expecting Hoshi to just get caned.
全ての害悪は私が振り払おう。
Plain and simple, I'm expecting Hoshi to get caned. I'll leave Zimmer. I will actually swap out Scavenger for... Because of the way I'm doing this, I don't even know where half of my units are. I'm going to bring Vigna when I find her. There she is.
皆さんの戦い方をしっかり勉強させていただきます。
And basically because of how the damage is going to be coming in, I'm also going to bring... I bring Silence
わかった。
and
しっかり援護するか
Warfarin.
ら。待て。医療器具を準備してからだ。
I love bringing Warfarin for these big damage maps where the damage is large but consistent because of her ability. Because her ability is just a very quick super heal. Gavel has a similar but different skill. Gavial. Need to check the spacing. I think the throwers only come from this side. I'm not actually sure what comes from this side. So we'll bring high damage single target sniper, if I can find one, because I need snipers on that top row. I might actually bring platinum and see how it goes, because platinum has that extra range. I'll leave Greythroat there in case of emergencies. Healer's damage. So Meteorite will basically be the primary form of damage here. I may need to swap her out for someone. I'm also going to bring Skyfire. I think... No, I'll bring Armia. And I'm also going to bring Ethan. And I'm going to leave it on his passive first skill, which is the extra arts damage. The reason I'm using Ethan over Manticore is because Manticore stops and slows. Like, Manticore's a good delayer, and she does a bit more damage than Ethan. Not a lot, but a bit. But Ethan, I'm gonna need damage basically. Which is why I'm bringing Lapland, because I'm trying to get Lapland to attack over the back of things. But again, I'll see how it all works out. I know how I want it to work out, but I don't think it's going to work out the way I think it is. So, yeah. First off the bat is this nasty fellow here. And I'm not too entirely sure how well this is going to work, because I have a deep dark suspicion this is going to go very south very quick. Okay, so that's manageable damage for now, but I may need to make a lineup change because she is going down very quickly. Yes. So I will need to make a lineup change. Hello, Spooder. Alright, so I'll do a quick lineup change. Vigner out and Courier in. And I'm actually going to use this second skill for Courier. It's a bit slower on the deployment point pull, but adds better defense, which is what we need, because I'm going to need Courier to tank that first little rod thrower. And because of how you see these things go, they're going to come up to hit Courier first, so we really need to put our second Vanguard, whoever it is. I use Zimmer because she lowers the deployment cost. I mean, it looks to me like Courier may not actually get there in the end either. Yeah, okay. So again, what I might do, I'm not going to modify the team this time, I'm just going to modify where I deploy people.
私は大丈夫です。皆さん、しっかりしてください。
So what I'm going to do, this time to try and give Courier a little bit more time to get himself ready. So I'm
戦場を一望できる
going
ね
to。deploy him further back here. And then with Zimmer, I'm going to aim her up. And now this rod thrower should, yeah.
ご命令を。
And then we'll do our best to time this as best we can. Now the unfortunate side of this is that
負傷した者はすぐに知らせるんだ。
I'm going to need to get healers down
冷静に
very quickly to try and stop that damage coming through onto the healers. So I'll get Ethan down as soon as possible. And then from there we pull down Hoshiguma, and Hoshi should start taking the hits from the tank, from the healers. I'm hoping to hold on to Zimmer just long enough that I can get an extra boy out of her. And then we deploy Nil, and behind her. And then what we're going to do is we're going to deploy Platinum there. Probably should have put Ethan facing the other way. So we'll redeploy, because these two are going to take a while, and while it is true that this first one that came out, is now attacking Blackland, once Platinum's skill actually goes through, it'll be fine, because she'll have the range to get to there. Now that is the other problem, because that's another thrower. So what I'm going to have to do there, because obviously I can't undo that.
すまない。薬剤の用意不足だ。
So because of how the damage is being dealt out now, there is a small issue. Knowing how that went, I will redeploy Ethan appropriately, maybe. I might leave Armia in. I'll see how Ethan goes. If I'm not satisfied with it, well, we'll fix it up. We'll just check hit points and defense on these snipers though, because obviously I now need a sniper that's going to do the job I need them to do. Which is tank some damage. So obviously Schwartz is looking good, but as I said, I would like to avoid using Schwartz. Jessica's a lot less health than I thought she did. I thought Jessica was much more tanky than that. So I'll bring Executor and I'll see how he goes. He has a lot of health, but not the best defense. His defense is up there, but again, not super great. I'm also going to have to consider rearranging a few things, but that's okay. So again, stick Courier back a bit further so he has some time to get that skill ready for when this fellow starts throwing stuff at him. Simmer facing north. So what I might actually do is reconsider how I'm redeploying stuff. So he should, yep. And then we'll face. This is going to be really, really weird because I was worried that would happen. I was hoping I got the deploy down fast enough, but it's all good. It doesn't look like he's doing a particularly large amount of damage. And once everything cycles through, I can start doing what I need to do. So we'll put Executor facing north. Don't think I'm quite going to get that. I'm going to risk it. Oh well. So anyway, we'll pop Nurl in. Hoshiguma's still loving life. So now I'm going to try. Yeah, okay. So I may actually need to, again, rearrange some units in that front. Just duck away for a quick sec, and then I'll just try again. Alright, so well, it is true that Ethan is sort of doing what I need him to do. He's not doing it good enough. So Ethan is actually getting the sack. Sorry, Ethan. And we will replace Ethan with any AoE caster we really feel like. It doesn't really matter. Skyfire. What's Skyfire's deployment? Let's pick whoever's got the best deployment. 31. 31. Yeah, okay. It doesn't really matter. We'll stick with Skyfire. Because her meteorites have a stun, and that should help a little. So the one major concern I have with how this is going to play out is anything I stick in this top row here is going to have stuff thrown at them. There's not much I can do about it. There's not much I can do to stop it. It's just how it is. So the main thing is, how do I go about stopping that? Which, again, is not a particularly easy thing to address. So. What we might have a look at is if we can exploit the map a little bit. Which we may be able to do by the looks of things. It's not going to be an easy process to do, but it's a process nonetheless. And what I might do in this particular instance is I will actually bring Ethan, and I might bring Manticore as well. Just to try and do some sneaky stuff. Because the damage so far from what I've seen is manageable. The damage is entirely manageable. And if the damage is manageable, then we don't really need to do much. It's just trying to find a way to work around it. It looks good in my head, but I'm not too sure it actually does look good. So I'll try this, because I need to actually get a visual representation of what's going on in my head.
ご命令。はあ。
誰一人通すの勝利か。鹿だ。
Not quite what I wanted, but it's not going to hurt.
悪くない位置取りだね。
I'll put Lapland there, as I said, because I wanted to find a way to exploit the terrain. And also what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to fill this area up with my specialists. I will pull her back and I will put Nell in. The one big gamble though, with using Nell over, say, Gummy for example, is that Nell only heals below 50%, so you are gambling. And it is a big gamble. But it's a gamble that I think is manageable, because as I said, Hoshiguma is here and she's not taking a lot of damage. And there are also a lot of stuns going on in here. So we've got Skyfire's meteorites, which are a stun. And I can also cycle that on the back of Manticore's ability, which is also a stun. And Ethan also has a chance not to stun, but to lock them in place. So that does stop an attack, which is also something. I mean, ideally looking at this with what I still have to play, should really bring another ranged guard like this. And you would put them right next to Lapland to attack straight over. Because as you can see, some of them are actually coming in and getting stuck in this cell like that. That mob there, even though it is hitting Hoshiguma, it's still in the cell that Manicore's in. And about now is where we start getting a little concerned about Hoshiguma. But fortunately it looks like she's doing okay. I mean, if it ever really gets to a bad point, I can always just pull out Skyfire and drop in an actual healer, which I probably should have done a little sooner than that. But again, that's relatively fine, because like I said, I wanted to bring another ranged guard. So I can actually test out how that's going to go. I actually suspect this is going to go a hell of a lot better than I've given it credit for. So what I will do is I will yank out Armia because I don't need her. No, I haven't set up my other monitors yet. The extra gimbal arm I'm waiting for has not yet come through, so yeah, I gotta wait. It's supposed to come into stock tomorrow, so hopefully they'll ship it tomorrow and I'll have it by mid next week. I can't actually set up the extra monitors I got because of that. Because I'm actually going to need to drill a hole in my desk to mount. Yeah, I have to drill a hole in my desk to mount it, and I actually, if I set up one on the mount, I risk having the hole set up in the wrong place, and then I'm just going to have a hole in my desk, which I'm going to have to replace at some point. Or alternatively, yeah, even if I take the other one out of the box and set it up on my desk so I have at least two monitors, then I've got to pack it all back up again, and it's not worth it. So at the moment, yeah, I've just got my old one sitting on my desk, and basically because it doesn't have another home. And yeah, from there, well, I'll just have to move it, and then I can line everything up. I can get the arms all set up. I can mount it properly where I need it to be, and hopefully everything will be hunky-dory, I hope. That's the hope, anyway. Whether it works out that way, I'm not entirely sure, but that's the hope. I can only do what I can do. So what I'm actually going to do is I am actually going to do more than just throw in an extra guard. So I'm using Frostleaf because the only other range guard I have at level is Silver Ash, I think. Where are we? God. Yeah, the only other one I have at level is Hoshiguma, and I don't... Hoshiguma. Silver Ash, and I don't really want to, as I said, I'm trying to avoid using the 6 stars because some of the people who watch these videos don't have all the 6 stars, so... Or if they have them, they don't have the resources to push them all the way up. So yeah, what we'll do is we'll use these two, Frostleaf and Lapland. Greythroat's just sitting there, just because. I mean, I suppose you could bring in a robot and just try and heal if you really wanted to. Yeah, actually, I'll bring Thermite. I'll bring Thermite because it's funny. The healers, as you know, I will actually swap one down for Myrtle, wherever she is. Not Myrtle. Myr. Why? Because of Myrtle's deploy talent, which is that when you deploy her, she instantly heals, which means if I need a healer in an emergency, I don't have to wait for anything. I just deploy Myr and bam, whoever's in danger will hopefully heal enough to not be in immediate danger anymore. That's the theory of it, and I'm hoping that'll work.
皆さんの足は引っ張らないようにします。
Because even if Myr then ends up getting poleaxed straight away by the spear throwers, it doesn't matter because she's got a heal down. As for anyone else, I mean, there's not a lot of options as to what you can really bring based on where exactly things are. If I had another specialist like these two, it would be good, but I don't. And what I might actually do as well is I will swap Zimmer for Myrtle, as I said. And I'm also going to give Myrtle the second skill to hopefully, be able to keep Courier alive a little bit longer. And I think I actually didn't do this as a practice because I was so confident. And now I've done a whole bunch of changes and I'm not confident anymore. But that's alright. We'll wing it. No, I didn't, so this is a fair dinkum attempt. So we'll have to wait for Courier, get Courier down. Drop in Myrtle. And we pop in Hoshiguma there. Because Hoshiguma's deployed, we can use Myrtle's skill. And from there, yeah, we just go through and start deploying as we would normally. So I mean, as you can see, this a little bit of an issue with Hoshiguma here. I'm hoping that will sort it out. Probably not, so we'll just deploy Myr. We'll get a little bit of healing through for all parties involved. Then we'll pull it back and we'll redeploy Skyfire. Courier's getting hit, so we'll pull him back. Try and sneaky in a heal, but that's okay. So as you can see, these little guys, these little sword guys, as they're walking through, meant to cause nearly one hitting, right? I mean, they're 2 shots easily. So again, quick deploy Myrtle. She gets 1 heal off, maybe 2. No, not 2. I tried to get 2 off, but there we go. And we'll just let her cycle again. And no, didn't work out for me. So there is an alternative thought I did have. And yeah, I was thinking that using one of the range guards to attack the upper row. I'll just go in the deep end again, why not? So yeah, I suppose I could use that. Yeah, that was what I was thinking, was to pull in a second healing tank. Just to pull in Gummy to block the soft row. Wherever it is. Gummy. Because the big issue, as I said a couple of rounds ago, with Nerl, despite the fact that she has that buff to healing, is that she only heals when something drops below 50%, and in the case like that, where you've got 4 targets chucking stuff at your tank, plus your tank taking additional damage, a lot of the time that's just not going to suffice. So what I might actually do also, and this is again very subjective because a lot of people don't invest in her, I'm actually going to remove Skyfire when I find her, and I'm going to swap her for Sora with her second skill. Actually, no, I'll use the first skill, because if I use the second skill, I'm not going to get the damage. I'm not going to get as much as I want out of her. So Sora, as you may or may not know, is a passive healing specialist. You can use her for damage, which I had thought about, but the range she's going to be giving out her buff to is not going to be big enough to do what I need her to do. So I'm satisfied with my initial deploy. The initial deploy is looking relatively fine. So again, we'll just deploy Sora immediately because she's a healer. Hoshiguma. Yeah, we'll aim her up because I think they stand there. I'm not 100% sure, and I'm probably going to find out the hard way, but so there we go. We will deploy. Yeah, we'll deploy Ethan here, and yep, that looks good to me. Okay, so Myrtle's getting hit, so we'll pull her back. Thermite in. And then we will quick deploy Null. And Gummy. Try and get some extra damage on those big tanky boys. And I'm having an issue with this one because this one isn't dying. And that is actually probably going to cause me significant issues, and I'm going to have to redeploy to work around it. So again, we've got Myrtle to get the heal through. Yeah, so Gummy actually got ripped apart by that one. Which is kind of what I thought would happen. I wasn't 100% sure that would happen, but...
最高だね。あいつらをぶっ殺してやりたい欲望がますます高ぶってきたよ。
So yeah, it is actually looking a lot like I may need a dedicated tank. A proper tank, not just a healing tank. Or I'm gonna need an actual healer. So. So, I'm actually gonna cheat. Sorry, ladies and gents. Sorry, I'm cheating. I'm bringing the snack. And instead of this, I will actually bring... I'm gonna bring Folnic. Extremely specific reason I'm bringing Folnic. I'm fairly certain she is an event claim, so everybody should have her. But yeah, as for the snack, that's on me.
戦場で歌うのってなんか新鮮。
That snicky snick.
みんな助けに来たよ。
待機中そうかな。
わあ、見ちゃうところだった。攻撃の許可が下りました。リンゴちゃん、今日もよろしくね。
悪くない位置取りだね。ここからは一歩も引かない。3、2、1。
So the reason I brought Folnic is because she does indeed have an attack. It's an AoE heal attack, but it is an attack. And now that, unfortunately, is the one I had issues with last time because I had it blocked in a very bad spot. So I'm hoping those little few changes will actually fix it.
このまま行くぞ
I'll deploy Frostwave there. And just awaiting the cycle of deployment points until I can get the snake down.
待機中です。ご命令を。
私に合わせる者がいれば
I'm
効
not
率が上がる
sure if I caught him then. I think I did.
時間は3、2、1
So yeah, we'll just see. I'll just be hinging the entire fight in the middle here
まだ
on
考
full
えて
mix
いる
ability. Because it is just an AoE damage plus heal.
お見舞い惨めに果てろ
私に行かせてもらおう
And hopefully, with these little guys like this one here that's blocked, I'm hoping that Yanuncles will have enough tankiness to sort of just hold them. She is a single block tank or a duelist tank, but
いつでも行ける
it shouldn't really matter. I'm hoping. I probably used the wrong skill on her, but because this skill actually stuns her, but she also adds to the damage of passing through stuff. Like when these big guards come through, they actually stop in these center two squares.
私の力も弱くはない
So she's actually able to hit them as well as Nurl, which means I'm. The hope is that I don't have as much of a clog in the middle here.
あと少し
And while Folnick is usually really light, she's for a healer she's not great. But because of Nurl, I'm hoping, and so far those hopes look to be justified, that she doesn't need all the healing.
お見舞い心配しない
She doesn't need to be a particularly great healer because she is getting the
この
10.
力
I think it's a 10% boost actually, and
心配無
I
用
just lost my snake. I lost my snake. It was going well.
ひとまずここを離れよう。こちらです。早く。
And it actually was Yanuncta's skill that undid me then. I thought it was going to be a bad choice to bring that skill because it actually stuns her and lets stuff through, and sure enough, yep, something got through and started hitting. I don't know who it was hitting. I don't know if it was hitting Nurl or if it was hitting Hoshiguma, but yeah, it was hitting. So we won't bring that. I'll actually just bring this, which is a passive attack and defense buff. And I think that's going to be about all I can really do. Because a lot of this now is just trial and error with me doing what I'm doing. And trying to find where the weak links are. Which I'm slowly getting through. I mean, I should probably still be using practice tickets, but like I said, I was super confident, and then I changed a whole bunch of stuff, and now I'm not super confident, but I'm still just jumping into the deep end,
進め。
thinking that I can just wing this.
ドクターここっていい景色だね
ご命令。
ここからは一歩も引かない
Should probably be aiming Hoshiguma down too, just in case something else sneaks through. Unfortunately, it's these big guys that cause me a lot of trouble.
私さよなら。うわ、
Because
見ちゃうところだった。
I'm forced to actually bring
はい突撃
forward the deployment times of what I want, which is not super duper ideal.
このまま行くぞ。
悪くない位置取りだね。
So as you can see, they're just happily sitting there healing themselves away.
まだ仮装薬開始。
ほら頑張れ。
スピードアップ
私こんなの嫌だよ。
私に合わせる者がいれば効率が上がる。
Failing this, I will actually bring in an AoE healer. I will bring probably Telopsis in. Because I can now see an issue. And that is that Volnik is attempting to heal everything at once and it's just not really working for her.
まだか。3、2、1。
It's pretty much what I thought. Volnik's... I thought Volnik might be able to keep up with the healing requirements, but she can't.
みんなの力になれなかった。
I've been going into the deep end the whole time, may as well keep going there. Okay, so... yeah, once again, we'll yank that out. I'll bring Telopsis, because I think she's my highest AoE healer. Probably not. Nightingale probably is. Only just. And yeah, what I'll do is I'll just leave that on that skill.
新たなデータをパッケージにビルドしました。
And yet again, we'll try. I probably don't need to bring Sora. Well, I can't actually bring anything else in, so what I will do is I'll just chuck in another robot wherever they are. There we go, we'll bring Lancet.
医療設備の消毒完了。充電完了。いつでも出発可能です。
Bring Lancet. She doesn't have very good healing range, but might be able to help Nerl or someone, I'm not sure. I'll have to have a look. Oh, I'll be able to look. Throw that there.
みんな助けに来たよ。
Oh, I can only put her on range spots. No. Oh well.
ご命令を
Them's the breaks. Actually aim Hoshiguma down this time.
わあ、リンゴちゃん、今日もよろしくね。
And I'm going to do an early deploy of Telopsis because of her skill point regen ability. Down Lapland. Down our two specialists.
ご命令そうか
潜伏開始。みんなこっち来て。
So I've got a little bit of use out of that.
私の後ろへ。
Pop Null down. Meryl.
私ここ
さああと少し。
私に合わせる者がいれば効率が上がる。
Now the reason I actually popped down Thermite there is because Thermite adds a debuff. A defense break debuff.
ご命令スピードアップ。待機中です。
ああ、わかった。
So we'll see how this all works out.
さああと少し。
I'm hoping it'll work out a lot better because of having the AoE healer there. Who instead of trying to heal a single target when there's, 3-4 taking hits, she can actually just steadily heal them all up. Use skill. Try and soak up some of the damage. So far it's looking good, none of the healers are falling behind.
さああと少し。
Hoshiguma is attacking those big shield carriers. These big fellas. The healers of Telopsis
この力
and
あなたの
Nell.
ために尽くそう。
Those are my two healers.
プログラム治療モード適用します。
目覚めよ。
So yeah, again the snake is getting fairly badly hammered.
こんなの
I'll try and stem the damage coming in by using Manticore.
私がついている。
かしこまりました。
君にできるかな。私がついている。
少し頭を冷やせ。
So far this is looking where it needs to go. I'm expecting... No, I was going to say I was expecting Anunctus to go down, but she's not. 3 left, I'm assuming it's just those 3, so
ど
we'll
う
just
するかな。
yank them,
いつでも行ける。
yank everyone because we don't need everyone. I'll leave Nell down because she's helping with the healing. One of them just off themselves from hitting Hoshiguma's thorns. I'll put them there. Oh well. So now I'm just waiting for redeploys and I'll just redeploy. I don't actually know how I'm going to redeploy because... Yeah, I haven't really thought this far ahead. I may actually just have to wait this out. Because if I do this, they're all going to be too close. I don't think I can put them there because they're in a funny spot. So yeah, we're going to have to just
適用します。
hope for the best, really. So what I'll actually do is I'll put Myrtle down because Myrtle's a healer as well. Myrtle's skill works as heals. Pop her down and she can assist with healing.
命令は惨めに果てろ。
私がついている。
And there we go. Like I said, I could have
この
brought,
程度で終わりなの？
I could have loaded up 6-star operators and probably made it so much easier for myself, but
元気にしているか？
I didn't really want to do that. I haven't done anything today. It's no good. No side missions for now. Hello, John.
Products received.
I am struggling. How are you?
Sources received.
今日は何をしましょうか。この部屋隠れられるところがたくさんね。この場所はディスクアレイのようなものですか？やっぱりドクター君のそばが一番居心地がいいわ。
Shuffle these operators around and then I'll get back into it.
はい、ただいま。フルースもここにいるんですか？
元気にしているか、ドクタ
Alrighty. Into the nasty stuff. Into the nasty stuff. So I'll bring in the usual suspects.
隊長だろうが隊員だろうが。
Vanguard.
うちのかなね。
I don't even remember these. I think most of these are relatively easy maps to start with, and then they just go to feral and brutal and generally unpleasant. So again, I will try and keep
準備
my
完了。
6 stars to as minimum as I can. Try. No promises.
法を執行するのが執行人の務めです。
Who am I after? I need another sniper. So I will bring Grey through with that
単
skill.
独行動の方が好きなんだけど。
I need to bring Jessica.
命令をください。遂行してみせます。
I need to look at the map because I forget the layout. Okay, so actually I probably won't bring Jessica. I will bring Telopsis again, if I can find her again. Da, 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 da.
新たなデータをパッケージにビルドしました。
I'll bring Gummy. Bring silence.
分かった。しっかり援護するから。
隊長はテキサスにやってもらおう。
Again, I'll bring these two, Lapland and Frostleaf, to attack over the back.
責任は果たすさ。
Because as you can see in the map, there's not a lot of space to work with, and you have to put healers everywhere if you work over here, so it's not ideal. Because I do have spaces over there to use, though, one operator I love is Beeswax, because she heals herself when she's not under attack. And again, we'll just grab a robot. We'll grab Lancet, just in case we need some sneaky heals. I mean, hopefully these are all as straightforward as I remember them. I don't remember having a lot of issues until I got a little bit later.
目標すべての敵の排除。
腰抜け野郎が。
早くしろ。早くしろ。やるのクズだ。
Get there in the end. So deployed. Telopsis early for those extra skill points. Where are we?
じゃあ行ってくる。
Now it's these big fellas up here that I'm a little concerned about. So we can actually deploy Beeswax there. It's not drama. Then since the top row is pretty straightforward, we'll deploy Gummy up the top row.
お前はもう戻れないんだよ。やってやるっつんだ。
And curve back real quick for Liscom.
このまま行くぞ。美味しいもの食べよう。はい、ここにいます。一発で仕留めます。医療プロセス開始します。
Use that skill, probably a little bit early because Liscom's barrier's still up, but that's alright. It's got plenty of time on it, so no drama. I'm going to try and leave Scavenger there for as long as I can. And I've probably made a little bit of a mistake in my deployment.
こうだけが真実です。
I'm not actually sure if she can attack air units. She can, there you go. So the one big issue I have is that I've given Greythroat the roll ability. I really should have given her the second ability, but that's okay. The first ability, sorry, I've given her the second ability. Which is just a big burst attack, and I shouldn't have done it, but what do you do?
ドクターの4つ強い近畿すらも破ります。
美味しいもの食べよう。敵の視界には何も映らない。心配無用よ。
So I know this is a practice, so it's all good. I know for next time. And the other benefit of actually bringing these ranged guards in is that they can attack the drones that sneaky past. So yeah, nice and simple. Instead of Executor, I could probably stand to bring in a caster. I think. I'll have to have a quick look before I do it proper time. These fellas, oh no, yeah, Executor's fine, or just any other sniper will work, really. Proper snipers are probably for the best, because no matter what you do, if those drones do end up ultimately doing the sneak through, you'll catch them. But I suppose, like I said, if you're laying it out like this, it really doesn't matter, because these two range guards will just sort it out. And nobody will be none the wiser. Gummy's fine, and I mean, you don't need to use Liscum. I prefer Liscum over, say, tanks like Quora. Most of you guys know I don't have Quora leveled up. Oh no, the connections. The connections is the big gone. What do we got? What's going wrong? Oh, we got news. Well, there you go. There's the next banner for anyone who's interested. So I'll try this again. For real this time. I'll just double check that everything has been done the way it's supposed to go. What I may actually do this time is I may actually aim Greythroat down instead of towards where they come out from. That will allow, hopefully, Greythroat to do a little bit more than she was doing. I think that's right otherwise. Looks okie dokie. Let's go. And yeah, I A2'd, sure. Got A2, the little chipmunk squirrel thing.
オリジニウムのせいなの。
目標すべての敵の排除。
腰抜け野郎が。
早くしろ。
お前にかける情けはない。
アーツユニットチャージ中。じゃあ行ってくれ。
勝利か。
I'll aim her south, and I've swapped her over to her first skill, which is an on-hit skill.
私からは敵は見えるけど、向こうから。
I'll probably be a little bit more organized with how I deploy tanks this time. Because I made a bit of a mess of it last time.
分かった。賢くも。
勝利か。鹿だ。
早くしろ。
飛ぶでもがいてろ。やってやるってんだ。
私からは敵は見えるけど。
So that's sorted out, and now I'll just do my best to keep Scavenger on the field as long as I can for her deployment points.
元気出して。
Deploy Executor there. Make sure he's on the field.
初期化完了しました。
That way we know this whole front line here is doing what it needs to do.
やるのか。
お前はもう戻れないんだよ。
This is again another one of those maps where you can probably, quite frankly, get away with using Perfumer if you've got her at E2.
やるのか。
I use Tulops just because of the skill point recovery and this extra long range heal, but I mean the damage that this bottom row takes you can easily recover with the heal over time.
ここですね。任せて。
So I'll pop beeswax down there and hopefully these fellas over here won't attack her. Doesn't look like they have, which is good because that's how she went down last time. Her skill radius there isn't super great, but It'll help with taking out these drones, so I don't need to worry about them. And I'm stuck through. And now she'll just slowly recover. Ideally, had I not dropped Lancet down, I would probably drop Lancet down just to keep Beeswax going. But yeah, nice and simple.
Mission accomplished.
And yeah, in that bottom row, you can have any sniper, Jessica, it doesn't really matter. I use Executor because I know there's a lot of enemies there. I suppose you could always use a caster. I mean, they're only B level resistance, B rank resistance, and that's not too much for most of the casters. But yeah, just a sniper would be ideal, just in case you're struggling with the drones. Anywho, the death of allied units is Harlavada. So we have an absolute mess of a labyrinth. That's fine, because we can stick our little supporters in there. So I won't even worry about bringing 2 of these guys, because I don't need them. Let's check that map again, actually. Okay, so I can put stuff along here, that's not a huge deal. So for this map, because most of them, there's one entry point over there at the top, which is the top row that runs straight across, and I imagine this little labyrinth of nastiness is probably where these wonderful spear thrower things come from as usual. Which I suppose means that they're going to come up here and they're going to yeet anything up here. So ideally you would probably... probably struggle, I don't know. I'll have a look at the map before I start making assumptions on what's going to happen. So because it's a nice big long thing, we'll keep with Liskarm as our tank. We'll back her up with Lapland. We shall have a healer. I will actually bring a normal healer, so we'll bring Silence. Because Silence is a wonderful healer. I think I may already have it selected, do I? Yes, I do. So we'll leave that. We'll yank Lancet. And what we will do is... I'm actually going to bring Shirayuki. Mainly for the slow that she has. And I'll also yank out Beeswax for... I'll bring Firewatch. Firewatch I'm bringing mainly because of the range, so you can use any big range sniper. I'm not sure what the archetype is. The long range snipers. And from there we'll pull out Frostleaf and we will drop in Ethan.
今壁が目の前で動いたって？何言ってんだ、そんなことあるわけねえだろ。
We'll pull out Gummy and we'll also drop in Manticore. I don't think I'm going to use all of these, but I'll bring Meteorite. We'll see how that goes. I'm not too sure how the deployment situation is going to happen, but only one way to find out.
総員出撃
So, I imagine that those throwers are going to come in down the bottom, like I said. They'll slowly damage themselves, which is not a problem, but you got to remember that your entire deployment line of range is going to be here. And that's well within tossing range. So you really want to do your best to try and stop, like, get stuff sorted out here. And I'm not too sure if any single healer tank, like not even Saria, could probably sit there and happily heal themselves. And there's no actual healer that can heal all that way. So it's really a matter of putting down your... I mean, I think a healer might be able to heal down from there, so... But by the time something comes up here, they're going to be chucking at the healer anyway, maybe. Well, maybe. Anyway, I'm going to try and avoid that. So we'll just chuck our usual contestants in. Keep a space behind them, so Scavenger gets her buff. There's the first thrower. So yeah, so far it all looks normal. I'm not too sure if Ethan will actually... Yeah, okay, so that's not actually going to work out the way I wanted it to. I was hoping he would cloak like Manticore, but I am new to using Ethan, so... Clearly that worked out fantastically for me. So... Ethan holding that guy up was enough to actually get him to knock himself over anyway. I want to move there. And for the sake of testing it, concept, I'm actually going to deploy Meteorite there because I want to know if they'll do that.
Program 起動します。集中。早くしろ。早くしろ。お前にかける情けはない。勝利か。鹿だ。
So then we just do a little bit of reorganization. Now the reason I'm using Shiryuki is because that skill actually has a slow attached to it. Ethan doesn't have a block, so I'll drop down Ethan there. I've actually misjudged badly how much damage those guys will take. I mean, that's going to wipe through, so... Try again with a better... deployment. Better deployment setup. I'm actually going to redeploy... Telopsis. Oh dear, I'm out of drills. That's no good. Because Ethan didn't do what I wanted him to do. I'm gonna bring in Manticore. I will leave Lapland if you want to use Silver Ash as a back rower, you can. And for the sake of my own personal amusement, actually, I am going to bring W with her bombs.
お互いどうにか生き残りましょう。
From there, we also bring in, yeah, I'll bring Armia.
はい、わかりました。
I could place Executor, but the thing with Executor is the problem I'm having with him is extremely high deploy cost, and Firewatch was fairly pointless because the whole setup didn't quite go the way I wanted it to. What else can we do? What else can we do? That's about it. There's not much else I can throw in there because of the limited space. Actually, I will bring Ethan because I know where I can put him if I have deployment spots. No, I won't. Will I? Whatever. Try the luck.
何言ってんだ、そんなことあるわけねえだろ。
Sorry, Spider, I didn't even see that comment. No, the game doesn't have co-op.
マップと敵座標の DMA 設定を適用しています。少々お待ちください。
やるぞ。
Because if I do it that way, I won't need to worry about who's got what buff.
一気にかかってこい。
Okay, so I'll put Collapsus there.
お前はもう戻れないんだよ。
Bring Silence back in further. Pop the tank in straight at the front. Now this guy should end himself. Unless I'm very mistaken. But she hasn't, but that's okay.
初期化医療プロセス開始します。
ビビってんじゃねえ。
私さよなら。
ドブでもがいてろ。
We can make it work, it's all good.
やってやるっつんだ。
And then we'll bring Lapland in behind. I'll pop Ethan there. Army are facing that way.
やるのか。
And when I get a chance, I will deploy W facing
はいはい、
down.
ここでたっぷり休ませてもらうわ。
Wasn't expecting to put it there, but that's okay. We'll work with it. I don't think they have a lifespan, so it'll just sit there happily.
3つ数える間に遠く
But yeah, that was what I was hoping for. And now it'll detonate, stun, and while they're sitting there trying to throw stuff at Ethan, they'll hopefully get killed.
私さよなら。
Now when this fellow comes out, not that you can see him in the pile of bodies
皆
there,
さんが私のことを信じてくれてますから。
really want to get Manticore in there stunning.
できた。
Because with Liscum, for example, you can't control when she brings her shield up, so you really...
3つ数える間に遠くのチャンス。
Yeah, you really need to try and control how often she's getting hit when the shield is down.
数える間に投稿のチャンスをあげる。
Now they're just on the stun from Ethan. W slowly working on him. You know, I keep saying I should keep bringing Perfumer and I never do, but
起動します。大当たりを引くの
might
は
swap.
誰かし
I'll
らね。
swap her in next time.
また苦しいよね。
So you lose Ethan, but that's not a bad thing.
お見通しですよ。
Not terrible, can be worse.
数える間に投稿のチャンスをあげる。初期化完了プロセス開始します。
Now we have four more somewhere. I'm not sure where they're coming from.
3つ数える間に投稿のチャンスをあげる。
So again, they'll, well, that one that was left will just sit there hitting or throwing at W.
わかった。
Replace W,
了解。
because he's going to come out just over here. So there's not a lot of point in pretending that W's got any use anymore. Just give him a push. Needs a push.
こんなに怖い戦場でも判断力集中力切れなかった。ドクターかっこいい。
Okay, so I can do one more challenge. Ooh. All enemies have increased movement speed. Goodness me, that's no good. Alright. Well, as I said, I will bring in Perfumer, if I can find her.
喜んで。
I don't think I'm going to need 3 tanks for this, despite there being 3 lanes, because I'm fairly certain one of these lanes is just going to be, you know, just the odd hard hitter. This is going to be my last one too. Oh no. What else? Need more casters. Alright. I'll bring Lazy.
ロドスの方の実力をこの総合で見定めさせていただき
I
ます。
don't think I have a 4-star caster I can use because my cat is not a very high level. Wherever she is, there she is. And no. So we just need enough. That's all we need. We don't need heaps. We don't need much. Get rid of W. Bring Courier.
では戦場の偵察は
Now I'm going to bring a whole
お
bunch
任
of
せください。
two block vanguards because of my crappy memory. I can't remember exactly what's going to come through. We can replace Lapland. Have to bring more 5 stars than I want, but that's okay. I'll bring Blue Poison with the second
いい
skill.
ですわね。攻撃支援に長けた私にぴったりの仕事ですわ。
And I will bring... Who will I bring? Who will I bring? Who will I bring? I'll bring Utagi.
よし。
I gotta
指
get
揮
rid of
は
Ethan too.
みんなに任せたよ。準備完了。
Alright, so that should be okay. I don't think I'm gonna need much more than that. I won't
まず
bring
は
her.
ウ
She's
ォーミングアップでもしようぜ。
single block. I'll bring Savage. Haven't used Savage in a long time, so
サベージ到着。
just because I want a guard that blocks a couple.
そんなに
Alright, what do we got?
大丈夫ですね。
We have
腰抜
middle
け
lane. What's in the middle lane?
ご安心くださいまし。この時は映りません
I
か。
don't think I'm going to get them down fast enough.
Mission failed.
この戦い、毒物が自分の毒で死ぬよう
And
に
I think that may actually bring this stream to an abrupt end. Oh dear, yes it does.
元気にしているか、ドクター。
So I'll have to keep working on that next time, probably tomorrow, depending on how things go, when I've got some more sanity saved up. Because I have a fair
軍
idea of
隊で
how
の
I
生
can
活が
go
私
about
に
that.
教えてくれたことは2つ。1つ、戦友は信頼せよ。
Oop.
2つ、信頼しても信用
Gonna
は
have
す
to
る。
bring in one of the
この地で生
deployment
きる以
points
上、
on return.
我々にはそんな矛盾が永遠について回
Well,
る。
yeah, you only get 50% of it back if you bog it up. So
誰も逃れられん。
unless you know what you're doing, and like I said, I don't remember any of those because when I was pushing through them originally, I was not using a reserve team like I am now. Like as I've said several times, I'm trying to use a team that's a little, not pushing all the 6 stars out because a couple of people that I know watch don't have those 6 stars in a position to be usable. And so yeah, I was just throwing my normal team at there. So I've got Bagpipe there just punching away. No dramas in the world. Oh, what do we got? I haven't done anything. So lazy.
こういうテクニックならいろんな場面で活かせると思うよ。
So lazy. So yeah, I'll end the stream at this point, and I'll probably give it another crack tomorrow, depending on what happens. Because like I said, there's a new news thing up about what's coming up for the displayed operators, but there's no actual news, and I know there's supposed to be another event coming along. But usually they have some semblance of news, which they don't, so I don't know what's happening. So yeah, this is after reset. Suzerain's another one I should really invest in. Another 6 star. Oh well. Hopefully that was somewhat helpful. Yeah, I do these. This will be another 3 points for what it's worth. Just try and get Indra and Vulcan again. Give me the good stuff. Top operator. Boo. I've obviously been very lazy today with this. Sport units 400. Yeah, so I'll just run something real quick. Chapter 1. Who needs rocks? Yeah, anyway, like I said, I'll wrap it up at this point in time because there's literally nothing else I can do except run these little low-level maps from when I had starting operators, and you get to see that I started with Boggle as well. Back when Plume was fantastic. Plume's still alright if you don't need it for anything serious. I also get to see how tacky my thought processes were. But I suppose none of these operators were all max level at the time, so it's sort of understandable. I wish all the maps were this easy. It'd be nice. So I'll save up some sanity and I'll give it another crack tomorrow after my tokens reset and I can actually practice instead of trying to hard yakka it. And I'll keep trying to use the lower level ones, although in Chapter 7 I'm not too sure how much longer I can keep avoiding using 6 stars. I know there are certain maps where you absolutely do need to bring 6 stars because there's nothing else that has the sort of ability or versatility of the 6 stars. And that's unfortunately just the way it is. But yeah, until that point comes, I'll try to avoid it and keep going. This whole video will actually be submitted on a YouTube. I don't think I'm going to break it apart like I used to do. When I used to do Arknights videos, I used to break them apart into actual maps. So I might maybe timestamp it. I'll see how I go for time. For actual clears as to what I do. Seeing as how I did a lot of cocking up and not a lot of clearing. Oh well, ladies and gents, I wish you all the best.